tomorrow night is the start of the NFL season, and we will have the Ravens and the Chiefs in Kansas City. There was some talk after last year, Scotty, that maybe Travis Kelce was thinking about, riding off into the sunset, going with his brother to do, multi-billion-dollar podcasts and go be a TV star. He's dating the world's biggest pop star. Maybe that would be enough to take him off the field, but no. Travis Kelce, Scotty, is as focused as ever. He is ready for another season of football and try to win a third straight Super Bowl with the Chiefs. No distractions for Kelce.
I just love coming in here, man. It's kind of, I mentioned St. Joe is my sanctuary. I just love football and how it takes me away from life, and it gives me something I can feel genuinely happy about. I enjoy coming in the building, working on my craft, getting to understand a new game plan and perfecting that for the people around me. It gives me a purpose to kind of go about my day and to live my life, and I have so much excitement doing it. It's going to be hard trying to figure out when to call it quits or not.
Yeah, listen, I think more people are interested in if he's marrying that chick than if he's going to win a third straight Super Bowl. I mean, he's become like a pop star in essence himself. Like, he went from being a great football player to, it's all about Taylor Swift. I thought last year it got, kind of ridiculous. I mean, I think that the NFL should take a look back, maybe spend an hour or two in their conference room taking a look back at how they let that relationship supersede football. I mean, it became about showing her in that luxury suite every week. I mean, literally the entire football game. They didn't even show the game. All they did was show Taylor Swift and Blake Lively getting drunk in a suite and partying and having a good time and blowing kisses. And I thought it got stale in a hurry, and it just wouldn't stop. And it went all the way to Las Vegas. It just never ended. It became about her and not football. And I think that's embarrassing. Now, listen, I don't deny she makes billions of dollars. I don't deny she's got a whole hustle going. I mean, that is quite the impressive performance. Her world tour and the money she's hauling in. God bless her. I really do, commend her. But I'll say this. She got nothing to do with football. Let's stop with the pom-pom stuff. And can we watch an NFL game without all the nonsense of that love affair? I mean, get married already, for Christ's sakes, if you love each other so much. Honestly, I give a rat's ass about her. I mean, like I said, she's great at what she does, okay? But her in football, I mean, what is next? Skateboarders are going to start playing in the NFL? What is next? Breakdancing in the NFL? They've already ruined the Olympics with that. I mean, what is next? Can we not spend the entire NFL season sucking up to Taylor Swift? I mean, honestly, I'm a grown, hardcore football fan, old man. You can say, get off of my yard, man on the porch, call me whatever you want. You're tripping if you think I'm wrong. That is a pain in my ass, that Taylor Swifty stuff every single Sunday. I need that like I need a hole in the head. Honestly. Christ almighty, you got enough problem with your wife and kids screaming at you, then I got to put up with this chick? Honestly, I mean it. You can quote me on all of it, too. I don't give a rat's ass.
I'll get you even more going then. Did you see the story that I guess Travis was doing an interview or something, and he said how she's gotten really into football, and she's even drawing up plays, Scotty. Did you see that? She's drawing up plays. She's worth $50 billion, but she's drawing up plays for Travis Kelce.
I would rather have the guy in the commercial that spelled out chefs in the end zone drawing up plays than Taylor Swift. Honestly, I can't take it. I don't care about her sudden fandom with football and all of the hangers-on and lackeys that suck up to her in that luxury suite. It's embarrassing. It really is. I've had enough of it. Can we? And you know what? We already went through it once. We've already been to the altar with this chick and this guy. They should have just got married already so we could be done with the nonsense. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I just can't stand it. I don't need that. And this is another reason. I got to be honest. It's another reason I hate them. I hate that team like no other. Like, honestly, like, I'm so sick and tired of them. I told you when I was a kid, my grandpa painted the Jan Stenerud on my bedroom wall. If I still had that Jan Stenerud in my bedroom, I would graffiti its ass. I'm so done with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'd spray paint it. Honestly, I put coast to coast that logo over it. Sick and tired. I hope they lose. I told you I hope they lose every game they play. I hope they lose tomorrow night in Arrowhead. Screw all their fans, though.
It seems like you don't have to worry. She will be there, it sounds like, tomorrow night because the Eras Tour currently is on break until early October. So you'll probably get plenty of shots of Taylor at the Chief Raven opener tomorrow night, which is still Chiefs -3, by the way. Total did go to 47.5 since we last spoke yesterday. What really matters, the lines of the game. That's what really matters.
What really matters is that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson never lose openers, and they cover every single game. They win straight up every single game, and I want them to win with Lamar and Derrick Henry tomorrow like you have no idea. Meanwhile, I hate them too, and they're in the North, and I hate them more than the Chiefs, but I hate the Chiefs so much with 2 straight Super Bowls and going to like 40 straight Super Bowls.
Let's go to Friday night's game now. Where we spoke about this a little bit yesterday, and I saw a note that the NFL is going to provide extra security, Scotty, in Brazil for the Packers and the Eagles so that nobody's worried. They've heard the players voice their frustrations, and there's going to be some extra security so that everybody feels comfortable down in Sao Paulo for that game coming up on Friday night.
Mike, that, honestly, at some level – it's almost as though, sans what happened to Trump in Pennsylvania or whatever, the rally with the kid shooting him in the ear, tried to kill him. Sans that, is that not like, the NFL in Sao Paulo and those 2 NFL teams and their respective hotels, et cetera, where they're staying, would that not truly be the safest place to be in like the entire country of Brazil on Friday night, and the fact that they're going to have literally armies of guys with, submachine guns and army and military and police. They're going to be all over those hotels and all over those NFL teams and all over those buses and all over those convoys to the stadium from the hotels. Like, it'd be the last place in the world you'd want to be like, hey, I think I'm going to go over and start killing some people. Honestly, you got to pick your spots. I would think that it'd be the safest place on earth tomorrow night. Now, I'm not talking about after the game, leaving the hotel, trying to go down to, the barrio to have a beverage in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. That's probably not a good idea. But when you're with the team, I think they have absolutely nothing to worry about. And I wouldn't have brought my families either to Sao Paulo because it really is hell on earth. I mean, it's inexplicable how they're having, frankly, an NFL game there. And to be honest, I'm surprised that they pulled off the Olympics there without a bunch of people being murdered and robbed and raped and shanked and kidnapped and sold into slavery and sex trafficked and narcotics. What don't they have down there with problems in Brazil? Let's get real here for a second. It's a mess. That place is an absolute hellhole. It's a mess. And you can quote me on that, too. It's no different than me talking about Oakland, California.
On the field, of course, the Eagles will get to debut their newest weapon, running back Saquon Barkley, who came over from the New York Giants in the offseason. Head coach Nick Sirianni very excited to have Barkley on his team.
I mean, he made a run at practice yesterday, and I just remember, I was wearing sunglasses. It was sunny out, just kind of taking my sunglasses off and looking at a couple coaches. I'm like, all right, this is awesome, that we got him here, not only for the play that he brings to the field and the cut that he made yesterday at practice, but also his leadership and the person.
What about when he's on for a month every year? and he takes his vacation in the middle of the season. He's like Giancarlo Stanton. He gets that month-long Caribbean trip in every year in the middle of the season. I don't have any stock in this guy's ability to play every game. It's not happening. He's always injured. I mean, that's why they don't want to admit it, but that's why they wouldn't give him the money. They just don't think he's worth the money because he misses 5-6 games a year. It's just automatic.
He's just not. That's for sure. He misses a lot of games. I did want to update you on this, too. I told you Harper got hit in the elbow in his first at-bat. He left the game, Scotty. Sosa hit for him in his second time around, so that is not a good sign. Hopefully nothing serious for Bryce Harper, who
opening the door for the Diamondbacks and Padres and Mets.
Opening the door for everybody else. That on Friday night is still the other Philadelphia team. The Eagles are still -2.5 with a 49.5 total. I gotta tell you, I know we're gonna do this more on Friday when we talk about what we like in the game. It just smells like an under to me, Scotty. Honestly, that 49.5. I think it's gonna be like all these other international games. It's going to be slow. I don't think the guys are going to be right. I think they're going to be looking to get the hell out of there. It just doesn't feel like a game that's going to be 35-31. It feels more like a game that's going to be 17-13.
I agree that I think it's an under, but look, my favorite part of it is watching Kaplan yesterday with his homerized milquetoast ass. Just constantly knobbing the Eagles. I mean, this guy, he does the Eagles pregame show. He comes on here. He would pick the Eagles to win every game, every week, every year over every team in the league. He's once again picking them to win the division. And this is a team that lost 6 of 7 to close it out. They should have fired Sirianni. They went and got that broken down Barkley from the Giants. And then they got a guy from Washington that they didn't want. Their receiver that they drafted from Penn State, Dotson, they didn't even want him. They owe him $7 million. They're like, here, you take him. We don't want him. He sucks. But then they immediately come out and say, oh, we have the best receiving core in the NFL. I don't buy their quarterback. I don't buy their coach. I don't buy them. I don't buy them to win the East. I still think Dallas is better than them. 3 straight 12-win seasons, and he thinks they suck. At least I come right out with it. My Steelers suck.
Okay, we'll stay with the NFL. How about Mike Tomlin? It's the first time we're going to hear from him on a game week this season as we head into week number 1. The Steelers will be in Atlanta against the Falcons to kick off their season on Sunday. A very new-look offense for the Steelers. What does Mike Tomlin expect out of them this season?
I'm not interested in making you comfortable today, to be quite honest with you. Those are just words, and really at the end of the day, it's somewhat meaningless.
I hate you people.
We'll have an opportunity to put some tape out there this weekend that's kind of reflective of that discussion. I'm more of a doer than a talker. Talking glowingly, particularly when you're undefeated this time of year, is easy, and I'm not attracted to easy. We're just going to work, and we're going to put some tape out there that's kind of reflective of our intentions.
I mean, this guy, he really is. He's grumpy on his birthday. I mean, he is. You couldn't make that guy happy or smile. I don't even know what makes him click, but he just hates the media. He hates answering questions. I mean, he's just grumpy Stiltskin.
He just doesn't he's not going to give you any information. Like, if you want to try to pry anything out of Mike, he's been doing this too long. It might work on some rookie head coach or a second-year head coach where, they like to they want to talk a little bit more. Mike Tomlin's been doing this for too long. He's not giving you a thing.
Well, here's another thought. Here's another thought for you, Mike. Mike Tomlin, he doesn't win playoff games. He wins regular season games that don't matter.
Recently, that's true.
He got a ring because of Ben Roethlisberger. He didn't get a ring because he did anything fantastic. And he is literally a coaching disaster in playoff games. I mean, every time they go, they lose. I mean, they're an automatic loss in the playoffs as much as Dallas is. So I won't deny that he never had a losing season. Congratulations. What has it got him? I mean, thank God he got the ring. because I think that's a miracle in itself that he has a ring. And I'm going to say this. I think he's been their kind of coach in Pittsburgh. They've always had that with Noel and Cower and this guy. But he is no Chuck Noll. Let me be very clear. He is no Chuck Noll. I have to repeat that slowly for idiots. But believe me, that guy can't coach like Chuck Noll coached. I'm sorry. Chuck Noll, when he took over the Steelers, they were the worst team in the NFL. And then they got Joe Green in the draft. And Chuck Noll and that front office built a Super Bowl championship dynasty that won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. And Mike Tomlin will never, hell will freeze over before Mike Tomlin ever sniffs 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. He'll go to 4 Super Bowls in 6 years when he's not coaching anymore.
No doubt. For as far as Sunday goes, still 3.5 for this game. 3.5 the Steelers are getting. 42.5 is the total. I will tell you, Scotty, they're just hanging that half out there for me, and I'm very intrigued by it for the Steelers. That half to go along with that 3 is making me think long and hard about it.
My buddy down there said, we have Art Smith now, so that's why we're going to lose. The Steelers are going to lose because they have Art Smith. Art Smith did such a great job coaching the Falcons. But as I've said, you can think whatever you want of my team, say whatever you want. That's fine. They're already favored for nothing. They're favored to be last place in the North. And then I know there's a lot of liabilities with the Steelers, and there's a lot of tickets on the Steelers. But just so we're clear, the Falcons have never recovered from their Super Bowl gag on a spoon. Their gag on a spoon in the Super Bowl, they have never come back from the dead. They're dead to me. I mean, they'll never recover from that. They'll never live it down. And Kirk Cousins, Mike Penix, Jesus Christ, I don't care who it is. They will never recover from that. And I say the Lions won't recover from last year against the Niners either. So I'll take the Steelers in Atlanta.
Yes, Brian Dable and the Giants going into a very critical year number 3 of his reign there. Of course, Mike Kafka's been the OC for him the last few years as well. The big question around the Giants this entire offseason is, will Dable be calling the plays this year, Scotty? He has not been willing to divulge that information to the media despite being asked 6,000 times. Well, yesterday he decided to change his mind on that.
The perception of the play calling is that, if you're going to do it, you say, I'm going to put it in my own hands. Like, this is what I did to get myself here. I want to be in charge of that. What do you make of that?
Yeah, like I said before, we're getting ready to play the Vikings. We've talked about that. We'll do everything we do to get ready to play.
You never really talked about it, though. You never said if you're definitely doing it or not, or you kind of...
Yeah, I'm doing
it. Look at him. He just said it. I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. So that's all you need to know right there. He's calling the plays, and that's another step towards, if things go bad this year again, that's just something else that, you call, who are you firing now? You called the plays this year. Like, you can't, what's the next thing that you're going to do?
The last time, Mike, that he called plays, they went to the playoffs and they won. So I thought he was great in that Tennessee game, remember? And they went for it with Barkley and on 4th down. And listen, I think they're better off having him call the plays and being responsible. Look, when they hired him and Joe Shane from Buffalo, you would have thought they'd hired their saviors, right? These guys are the saviors of the Giants franchise. These 2 brilliant football minds. Well, Joe Shane's not going to be calling the plays from up in his luxury suite. So it's got to be Dayball as far as I'm concerned. They've already tried everything else and none of it worked.
None of it worked indeed. The Giants are home dogs coming up this week, Scotty. Not many of those on the slate this week, but the Giants are home dogs, getting 1.5. 41.5 is the total. Of course, Sam Darnold will be at the helm for Minnesota this week.
I mean, honestly, how can Daniel Jones and Neighbors and the Giants screw this up any worse? You're at Snoopy. You're at home. It's going to be 75 degrees and sunny, perfect day, home opener. You got to win the game. I am not afraid of Sam Darnold or the Vikings, for that matter. The only guy they got on that team is Jefferson. Fair enough. Can Darnold get him the ball? There's your game right there. Will they be able to connect Darnold and Jefferson? If they don't connect, they won't win.
Tell you, I kind of like the Giants on Sunday, Scotty. I think I'm in on the Giants. I'm on the Giants this week at home for whatever. I think they're going to start strong. They've beaten that team too. I know it was a couple years ago, but I'm going to back Daniel Jones.
They're not that good. They're not like what are we talking about here? Like they're barely better than the Bears.
Right. It's very true. Very true. The Niners, of course, have gotten all their guys back in the mix. We told you yesterday, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, everybody's going to be good to go. Here is Trent Williams, Scotty. Of course, he just showed up there. He was a holdout, got his $80+ million restructured deal, etc. Here he is. He's very glad that all the negotiations are over with the 49er brass.
Are you adding up the fines ever in your head?
Nah. I try not to think about it. You know, it's one of the things where you kind of know you're going to leverage, it's what, for lack of a better word, it's kind of war. Both sides going to lose a little blood, but, wave the white flag at the end. We both signed a little peace treaty and we good.
So a little peace treaty. That means he's open to doing it again down the road. A little peace treaty.
Well, listen, he understands. He said leverage. And you know what the leverage is that he's the best tackle in the NFL. When you're the best player at your position in the entire league, let alone your own team, you can do whatever you want in the summer, which includes laying on a raft in your pool naked with a cocktail in your hand and smoking a gigantic Cohiba or a doobie. Who wants to go to that stupid-ass training camp, which is a gigantic, colossal waste of time for everyone involved? When you're the best player in the league at your position, you can make a phone call and go, I'm not coming. I want more money. And if I don't get it, I'm not playing. And it works every time. When you're the best at what you do, you can force the hand of any team in sports. It does not matter what sport we're talking about here. If you're the best at what you do, you will get your money one way or another in today's professional sports. And this guy had them by the onions. They had no choice but to give him a raise. First of all, look at the size of him. I mean, the guy is literally bigger than the Empire State Building, and he can do whatever he wants, and no one's going to do anything about it. I saw that guy get in a fight with another team by himself, and the other team all backed up, and they all backed off and went the other direction, knowing that he came into the mix and was going to start shredding ass. He is a guy that people are afraid of. And when you have that much juice, you can do and eat and sleep with whoever you want.
Deebo Samuel did rework his contract as part of making all of this money work.
Who aren't they giving money to in the last week?
A lot of money. A lot of money they had to move around to make all of these deals work.
I'm surprised they're not paying for the guy that shot Pearsall's legal fees. They've been giving everybody money all week. See how nice they are?
The Niners are -4.5 on Monday night now against the Jets. 43.5 is the total for this game. So we did see that move quite a bit after both Ayuk and Williams, Scotty, were back in the fold before the game.
They just have to open up and spank the Jets on national television.
Yes.
On Monday Night Football, and the gang green are going to fly out to California and do what? Lay an egg is what they're going to do. The Niners are going to beat them.
I think so too. I think the Niners are going to beat them as well. I do going to give you this though. I got a lot of numbers for you today about Week 1. I got lots of different trends and numbers and lots of stuff to make you think about this week. Here's one for this game. Since 2000, this is a long time, 25 years almost, the loser of the Super Bowl, which the 49ers are, 5-19 ATS in week number 1 the following season. 5-19 against the number as they have the quote-unquote Super Bowl hangover to start the year.
Carver High, it's unbelievable. So the Jets made a move as well, right? They inked Carter to a deal.
Yes, their cornerback Michael Carter, 3-year extension, up to $33 million. So more defensive back money being held out today. He's very good slot corner for the Jets, who have, hey, we've heard it from Adam and everyone else. Best defense in the league, right? Best defense in the league, the Jets. So they just needed a quarterback. That's all they needed.
Listen,
so they're going to start paying all those guys.
I have been hearing this for literally 25 years. I've lived in New York City, and I've been hearing that the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl every year, every single year. In all of July, August, and September, all I hear about is the Jets have the greatest defense on earth. And on paper, this is the greatest team on earth. And then they always lay an egg. I mean, it's always, and I mean in bold capital letters, ALWAYS, all bold capital letters. You know the guy that texts you in bold letters? You're like, what's wrong with this guy? He's all mad at me. He's texting in bold. That's the Jets, always texting in bold, how big and tough they are. They're the greatest team on earth, greatest team on paper, paper champions, and then they turn into chumps. They're like Cinderella. I mean, it's honestly, I can't wait for the inevitable crash and burn, and it's always something. Last year it was his Achilles. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about, Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not going to sit here and do this Aaron Rodgers stuff every week. Like, what is Aaron saying this week on Pat's show? And what is Aaron thinking? Is Aaron going on a dark retreat? Is Aaron eating mushrooms? Like, I don't give a crap about that nonsense every single day, every week. I mean, this guy, to me, he's old, and I can't wait to see him go down the other side of the mountain. He still thinks he's winning Super Bowls. It's been so long since he won a Super Bowl. He's fully gray now. Like, I mean, he's touch of gray. He's the Grateful Dead. Honestly. He looks like Bob Weir. He's so old.
More injury stuff for you from around the league from today, at least stuff that's trickled out. Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts dealing with a hamstring injury. He was limited at practice today. Raheem Morris didn't seem too upset about it. So we'll see what happens with Kyle.
Here's another guy. Here's another guy that they have ruined in Atlanta. Here's a guy, one of the best, most talented players ever that they ever got their hands on in the draft, and then they don't give him the ball. They don't throw him the ball. So they have all these guys. He's one of them for sure, right? He's like the main one, and then London, and I mean. They have all these great players and how about their running back, Bijan Mustard? They don't even give him the ball. I mean, it is just unbelievable watching that franchise screw everything up. I mean, the only thing they've done right ever is that velour sport coat that Arthur Blank wears around at the Super Bowl. Now, that is just fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking of getting a velour sport coat this year, Carver High. And you're a big sport coat guy. You got some of the best blazers ever. What do you think, Carver High? We need to get you because you got the green, Luck of the Irishman. I'm thinking you need a green velour leprechaun blazer.
I would absolutely wear it if it was given to me. I would wear it in a heartbeat. I love stuff like that.
I know you would.
Jahmyr Gibbs says he's 98 to 100% ready to go for week 1 for the Lions after, of course, hurting his hamstring in training camp a couple of weeks ago. So everybody thought that was going to be a long-term thing. He says he's about 100%, and he's ready to go Sunday night for the Rams and the Lions. More numbers for you, Scotty. Jared Goff, week number 1, 7-0 against the spread in his career. Your boy loves week number 1, if you remember, even last year on the opening Thursday night game in Kansas City against the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, how can you buck that trend? He never loses openers, 7-0, and he gets it done and covers. So I guess the bye's the Lions at Ford Field on whatever it is, Sunday. When is the game? Is it a day game?
That's the
game?
Sunday night game. That Sunday is the primetime game on Sunday night. Rematch of that playoff game from a year ago. where the Rams were in Detroit against the Lions. So they'll be having that again. The Bills named Damar Hamlin their starter at safety. So unbelievable story, Scotty. Of course, year and a half removed from collapsing on that field in Cincinnati. He will now be a starter on the Bills defense this coming week. And this has nothing to do with Damar. I don't think that's a great thing because I just don't think he's that good, Scotty. So that makes me a little nervous.
It is
honestly,
unbelievable to me that this guy, all right, first of all, he died.
Great story.
Great story. He died, and then he came back from the dead like Jesus. And then like everybody spent a year feeling sorry for him, which I guess he had coming. And then I had open heart surgery, and everybody felt sorry for me for about a day or two. And then they're like, we really don't like you. It's amazing to me that after his feel sorry for you window closed, that they actually gave him a starting job again. Because I thought like last year when we realized he didn't matter anymore in the NFL, we were done with Damar Hamlin. I almost fell over when I saw he was still on the Bills. And then I, tripped and fell and chipped a tooth when I saw he was starting. He's now starting. I thought, so at the very least, we're not supposed to make, feel sorry for him anymore, are we? We don't have to, feel sorry for him anymore and do the whole, because that was like a year and a half long to feel sorry for you window. I didn't get any kind of window like that. We never liked you. We wish you would have died.
Listen, I'm all for good stories as well. You know that. But this is pain day on Sunday, okay? There's no more feel-good stories. If I watch Marvin Harrison Jr. Run over you over the top for a touchdown on Sunday, that's a no-go for me. That's great that you're out there. Now you got to perform. That's how it goes. If you're going to be a starting safety, Buffalo Bills, him and Rapp, Hyde and Poyer are gone. You got to show up with your lunch pail and play. That's it, baby. I don't want to hear about
Hyde and Poyer are gone. You said the magic words. They must be so desperate, and they are so thin, the Buffalo Bills, that's who they're starting now, and they let the money guys go. I don't think the Bills are going to be as good as everybody thinks they are.
We talked about this with Gabe already a little bit earlier, but I did see the Stefon Diggs stuff about he wasn't in great mental space, and it was, I wanted out, or nobody threw me out in anywhere I've been, and he had a lot of things to say, Scotty. Here's what I'll say about it. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of listening to this dude. Just go catch footballs in Houston. And try to make them better.
You're fed up with him. You've had enough of him because when he was in Buffalo, he was a cancer. I don't care what anybody says. He constantly threw temper tantrums and blamed people, finger pointing, yelling, screaming on the sideline at his quarterback, at his coaches. I think he's just an absolute top shelf narcissist, pain in the ass. And I think he's going to go down to Houston and do the exact same thing when he doesn't get targeted enough. He wants the ball on every single pass thrown to him and no one else. And that's what his problem is. He doesn't believe in anyone else. He's not a teammate. He's a me guy. He's all about I, me. Give me the ball. And is there anything worse on a team than a guy that doesn't want to be a real teammate?
Well, look, I'll always say this about Diggs, and at the end, that is absolutely what it became. I cannot deny when he came to Buffalo and those first few years, and he was awesome, and he absolutely made Josh Allen a better quarterback, and he made him better. And I think the trade worked from that aspect, Scotty, but you're right. It always runs its course with him, and it did, and it was time to move on. Thankful for what he did, but I'm tired of it now. It's just we got to move on from it. And I'm tired of stories, too.
I think people they're fed up with it as well, and it's not going to continue. I do not believe that
once the season starts.
I don't think that Houston's coaching staff and Ryan's is going to put up with that. I think at some point they're going to be like, listen, dude, I mean, those days are over. The days of you screaming and yelling at people and pointing fingers on the sideline and having temper tantrums. Another guy that was that way, in my opinion, was Beckham. I thought the entire time that Beckham played with the New York Giants, he was a cancer and a distraction and a problem and a team wrecker. And I think that's what Diggs became in Buffalo, a team wrecker.
No doubt. Of course, the Texans, his new team, will play the Colts on Sunday to kick off their season. I told you I got lots of numbers today. Colts against the spread in week number 1 since 2008. 114-1 ATS. I think you sent me this one too last night after I saw it. 114-1 the Colts in week number 1.
Well, first of all, I thought Steichen did a really good job with that team last year, and I thought Minshew did as well. So, Minshew's gone. Richardson's back. We don't know if that, fruit is juicy or if it's rotten. We don't know if it's, if the lime, you cut it open, if it's got red marks in it. I'm telling you, this guy, we have no clue what he's going to be after his problems and his shoulder and everything else. And I just don't think they're that good of a football team. And I think D'Amico's got himself a loaded gun. I think the Texans are good. They proved it last year. They just seem like a team that's, not just good, but they're on the up. They're like, they're getting better. I mean, last year was the very beginning, the essence of the beginning of the fruits of their labor. All of their drafting, all of their trades, all of their movement has been dedicated toward this moment, and they've already shown that they can win. Now they have to do it again and prove that it's real. I think they're better than the Colts, hands down. They go in there and win.
I think they are too. And look, Anthony Richardson got hurt last year, didn't finish the season. I thought he looked a little spotty. This guy, they played him a lot in the preseason. He threw some bad picks on that awful pick 6 against the Bengals. I think he's an exciting player, but we got a lot more to see from Anthony Richardson before we start putting the Colts.
I'll give him this. He's a great athlete, and that's about it.
The Chargers, of course, have a new coach. You sent me that big article about Jim Harbaugh and changing the culture for the Chargers. I know you're very excited. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I guess it's possible. He's won everywhere he's been, Scotty. He will eventually turn them around.
Listen, I just, I am not, as you know, I always respected Al Davis. He's a Titan, my favorite all time. But I hate the Raiders, and I always have. And there's nothing I enjoy more than watching them lose. And I want to see Jim Harbaugh beat them in his opener in Lipstick City at SoFi, and that's just all there is to it. Every year, and I got my buddies that do Raiders pre and post, and they host every Raiders show in Vegas. The Raiders this, Raiders that, the Raiders, the vaunted Raiders, the Raiders. And then the Raiders suck just every year. And I mean, they're like, this guy won 3 or 4 games. We'll give him the head coaching job. He's never coached before. We'll give him the job. Remember when they won all those games and they wouldn't give the interim coach the job, but they gave this guy the job? They stink. And I love watching them lose. They're going to lose again this week.
Yeah, and Jim Harbaugh is on my list that I have for you. The best active coaches against the spread in week number 1. Remember, Jim's been in the NFL before, and he's 4-0 against the number in week number 1. Now, his brother's 12-4 against the number in week number 1. McVay is 6-1. Campbell and McDaniel both also undefeated against the spread in week 1. So there you go. That's a pro Jim Harbaugh.
I actually think, look at that picture again. You could actually be fooled into believing that picture is Marty Schottenheimer and not Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
You could actually pull that off, I think, right there.
I think you could, believe it or not, if we did that. Now,
all
of course,
the Harbaughs are winning this week, including their old man. He might be involved in some kind of bocce ball or pickleball, maybe some shuffleboard. Something might be going on with the senior. They all win. The Harbaugh family, nothing but winners.
Nothing but winners. Of course, if I give you the best coaches in week number 1, I have to give you the worst as well to go along with it. Mike Tomlin, 8-9. Well, when you coach 17 years in the league, you're eventually going to get a couple of losses. Tomlin, 8-9 against the spread. Sean Payton, 7-9. Zach Taylor, Kyle Shanahan. Dan Quinn, 1-5 from back in his days in Atlanta.
You would be surprised to realize, I will bet my life, that most coaches, I've said this to you before, at the end of the day, they'll coach for 5 years and they'll be lucky if they break 500. They'll be lucky if they have a winning record in 5 years in the NFL, because the NFL is all about parity. It's all about Everybody's on a level playing field, and every year somebody can win and do well. And the reality of it, it's only the Chiefs do well in the NFL, no one else. And I already told you what I thought of Tomlin. Tomlin wins every game that doesn't matter. So, he's 8-9. I'm surprised. He wins games that don't matter. Opening day matters. He doesn't win those. He doesn't win playoff games. Let's face facts. I mean, there are people, and I like him. Don't get me wrong. Don't be misconstruing what I'm saying. He's the perfect coach for the Rooneys. I mean, their father, their grandfather, that's how they ran the Steelers. They've had 4 coaches. They don't want a change. They don't listen to the media, and they really don't listen to fans. They just pretend like they do. What they want from you is to raise the ticket prices every year and to sell you merchandise and liquor and food and booze and everything else at the games and make money. They're a lot like the Steinbrenners in that we're satisfied if we can just make the playoffs because we'll make so much money. I already got an email from the Steelers yesterday. Yesterday I got an email. They want to force me to buy playoff tickets, and they haven't even played a game yet. And they're like, you opt in, and then once you opt in, you cannot opt out. You have to buy them no matter what. Like, they're forcing me to buy playoff tickets. And when do the Steelers play home playoff games anymore? When hell freezes over is when they play at home in the playoffs.
It really is one of the ultimate scams that these teams run. The Steelers aren't the only ones who do it. I have friends, of course, that have Islander tickets, Giant tickets, and they do the same thing. They make you buy the playoff tickets before the season even starts, and then they say to you when they don't make it, well, we're just going to put that towards your deposit for next year. So that way they keep you. They keep you. The money's already there, and then at the end of the year, if you're even thinking or considering not renewing, like, oh, they've already got my, X amount that I gave for those playoff tickets. I might as well just go the whole way now and stick around. And
I told you, I'm going to that game, right? I'm going to their home opener in 3 weeks against Jim Harbaugh. So I'm flying in there. I'm staying there. I'm going to the game. It is happening. I will say to you that I have had the conversation even with myself and others as to why I keep these tickets. I've had them for, 60 years in my family, and I rue the day I get rid of them because you'll never get them again. You'll never have season tickets again. There's a waiting list until the apocalypse to get Steeler tickets, season tickets, right? But the thing is, my problem is I don't live there. And my second problem is, why would I ever retire there, to be honest with you? I mean, it is another one of these, I was going to drop a bomb right there. It is a completely shacky place to live with the weather. It's like living in Buffalo. It's like living in Cleveland, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. I mean, it really is miserable. I mean, you think it's bad here, Carver High. It's way worse there. Snow belt, snow, lake effect, snow. Buffalo's way worse than New York City. Syracuse, way worse. Pittsburgh, way worse. Cleveland, way worse. Like, why do I want to retire somewhere where it snows all winter for 8 months, and then in the summer it's hotter than Haiti and humid? And then what? So I can have Steeler tickets? I have had the thought cross my mind, believe me, to sell those things. Like, it's like every time I go, I drop $5,000.